Do you really want all of your wishes granted? You know, that's the curse of the genie. Hi, my name's Dee and welcome to Sunchild Tarot. Now this is a general reading for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, whichever area of your chart you're wanting to look at. And if you don't know what your rising or your moon sign or your Venus, for example, is, then there is a link down in the description for a free birth chart. I recommend to go and get it because you should always watch your rising sign. In ancient astrology, it's the most important one. Now, being a general reading rules apply. Timing is not absolute. It never is with divination. It will kick in when it kicks in, if it kicks in for you. And a whole number of other qualitative statements there. And if somebody else appears in the reading, roles can get reversed because the cards don't have name tags. So I can think I'm talking about you and I'm talking about somebody else and vice versa. Now, where these readings are different from your standard YouTube general reading is that they either are for you or they're not in total. This is a spread that has a past and a present. So if the past and the present don't fit, don't try and make it fit. It's not for you. Go and watch your rising, go and watch your moon, go and watch your Virgo from another reader and come back here next month. Well, keep more than just a month away because I do all sorts of readings. But come back here for the next lot of readings. Speaking of which, this month I shall be starting doing readings not just for Western zodiac signs, but also for Chinese zodiac signs. So those will be uploaded. Depends if I get them done on time. They should be up by the 1st of the month. If not, they'll be a couple of days after these. So the other thing is I would like you to ask a question. So take a moment, think about all of the questions that are around you at the moment and focus on one of them. Focus because energy in, energy out. You focus upon that question. The universe will find a way to give you the answer. Hopefully it's through my reading, no guarantee. But also with these cards, be aware of all of the questions that were floating around because the cards will answer whatever they please to, and they don't necessarily have the same sense of priority as you and I would do. So what you may think is the most important question is not what they would necessarily think is the most important question. So a little bit of housekeeping. Down there also there is a link to a Facebook group where obviously I post these videos, I post the astrology videos I'm learning from, the odd documentary or two, other readers. Come and join. There's an inbox there as well, so you can communicate with me directly if you're wanting a personal reading, because I am doing them now. Also, with talking about doing the Chinese zodiac readings, I have been working on Western Chinese combination readings like Virgo dog, Virgo pig, Virgo monkey, Virgo monkey, Virgo dragon, etc. I think in fact I've done Virgo dragon, so go and have a look at that if that's useful for you. And I'm also starting to do my sun with moon or rising combinations as well. So there will be over the next couple of weeks a Virgo for Cancer moon or rising coming out, so keep your eye open for that. Right, other than that, all the details about the reading are down below, and please do comment. Oh, and if you want me to do a Virgo ox, tiger, horse, pig, donkey, monkey, that's what I'm trying to say, monkey or what have you, make a note in the comments down below. If you are commenting, which I really do appreciate the feedback, and thank you to everyone who has commented so far. I always try and respond because my viewing figures are such that I can respond to each individual comment at the moment. I won't guarantee that that's if the viewing figures increase, whether I'll still be able to keep up with that, but I don't think that's a worry at the moment. So, but yeah, press the like and subscribe button as you're going past to comment down there. Right, so let me bring up the cards because that's all the housekeeping out of the way. Of now, Virgo, we have quite a lot out of the oracle cards. And what I'm feeling is that we have Gentle Gardener and Mountain, a time to give rather than take. We have Kali and Umabel from the Curtain Finale and Oracle of Heaven and Hell. I'll get to these two in a moment as well. But you are very much being asked to look at your thoughts. And this is even before I look at the tarot, because the tarot is telling a slightly different tale. But I'm sure they'll link as I get into the clarification cards. You are being asked to look at your thoughts. The Gentle Gardener is saying, be aware of that part within you that creates the universe, the world that you the reality that you experience. So the light side of this is basically what you think, what you feel, how you use your emotions or experience your emotions is projected outwards to create the reality that is reflected back at you. The more negative aspect of this card is, are you holding a grudge? In fact, I knew that it would be relevant, so I got it beforehand. The reverse is, do you harbour resentments? How often do you reinforce negativity by affirming lack and limitation? Every time you send out a desire for something but secretly harbour a belief that you're undeserving of it, you plant weeds in the field of your dreams. That's a nice phrase, isn't it? Weeds in the field of your dreams. Well, I mean, it's not a nice phrase, but you know what I mean. How very poetic. When the Gentle Gardener appears in the reversed position, now I don't do reversed cards, she reminds us to be aware of any negative thoughts or selfish motives. Now, I picked up on that because we have here the Angel Prince of the East. I purify my mind by affirming my worth and honouring my choices for love. So there's the analysis of, you know, your own thought structures and how you are projecting out. And we have the Angel of Mercy. Divine mercy gives me the grace to be tender and accepting. Now, with the Mountain card here, which talks of obstacles, but it talks of an obstacle that you don't have to go through the obstacle. You could just go round it. You know, there's... and coupled with a time to give rather than take, makes me wonder if there is some form of grudge or somebody is standing in your way that you are harbouring a resentment about. And rather than have them there in your face, walk away. Simple as that. There's other ways to achieve whatever it is that you're wanting to achieve. Kali here is basically a bastardization of the Hindu goddess Kali from Colin de Plancy's Dictionnaire Infernal. But within this, she's supposed to mean focus on feminine strengths as that receptivity aspect, as with the Angel of Mercy, is letting things come to you and not trying to plough through things. But beware of judging powerful women harshly. So I don't know if that means anything to you or not. But the other thing is that the Kali that this Kali is an imitation of, is a very, very powerful force for change. And I really feel that is important because there is change going on. There's quite a bit of change going on for you personally. Now, you are being told to seek pleasure. Seek the nice things. Seek the good things. And that, to me, really speaks to this whole Gentle Gardener idea of, yeah, have some fun, feel the fun, broadcast out the fun, have more fun sent back to you, which seems a bit like a win-win to me. And that this is a process that you are undergoing. We have blossoming. So I may be telling you stuff that you already know. But, you know, do be careful to monitor your thoughts. And whoever this obstacle is, go round them, or even better, give them something. And I don't know what that will mean, but give them something. Even if it's just a smile, you know, or a cake, or a cup of coffee, assuming we're all out of lockdown by the time you see this, that is. But yeah, just give them something and be prepared to listen to what they say. And if you find it irritating, offensive, whatever, forgive them for it. Because bear in mind, somewhere along the line, you have created this experience. You have sent out the call energetically for you to have this experience come to you. Now, you are definitely sending calls out energetically at the moment. I think that is being rammed home for you. Because we have, for the situation that you're in, the star. And it's almost like that with the 9 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles. Well, you couldn't get much better, could you, Virgo? You know, there's it looks like there's some information and wisdom that has come into you where you are getting the spotlight. You're getting everything that you wanted materially, and I think, I don't want to say emotionally, I want to say dream-wise. You know, and I'm not saying, because 9 is a number of rebirth for me. So I'm not saying that all of your dreams are realised. I'm saying enough of the beginnings of them are coming into play for you to go, I can see where this is going, even as where this is going is growing and blossoming and changing in front of your eyes. It is enough for you to know that your wishes have been granted. Now, this is a double-edged sword, as we know with this gentle gardener. Do you really want all of your wishes granted? You know, that's the curse of the genie. You know, is and what is it? Is it? I think it's an old Chinese curse as well. May all your wishes come true. Because, yeah, we have good wishes and bad wishes, you know, and there isn't one of us that can say we don't. But you are really being forced into a time of introspection from this, because I think you have noticed how the effects of your actions and your thoughts and your feelings and your words, how much they are having an effect on people around you. Now, this is coming from a point where you'd been feeling quite protective over something, and somebody had been reflecting at you just how much you can be. I think that there's, with this this particular Two of Swords, it always reminds me of a saying of an old psychologist friend of mine. You know, when you point at somebody, that's 1 finger pointing forwards, 3 pointing back. You know, or as she also used to say, perception is projection. But there was some decision, some aspect of fairness that came about. I think there's somebody at my door. Let me just pause a second. Where was I? Yes, somebody reflecting to you, and some form of decision was made or handed down from somewhere. Now, during this time, you had been trying to protect what is yours. You had been trying to maybe defend against whatever this other person was saying, offering, doing. But the end result of all of this has been in your favour, and all your wishes have come true. In minor forms, but ways that you can see will grow and blossom. Because how you're feeling at the moment, well, to look at these cards, Virgo, you're feeling a bit full of yourself at the moment, aren't you? We have... Sorry, I shouldn't laugh. But, I mean, it's a great feeling when you have it. It is a great feeling. But with what the Oracle cards have been saying, I hope you were magnanimous in victory. We have the Fountain card, which out of the Fountain Tarot, it's like all the good cards rolled into one. It's like an explosion of energy, of understanding, of connection, of joy. Clarified by the Emperor, you are taking your seat of power. Interestingly, I'm really drawn to his cloak, which seems to be a bear skin with the two arms of the bear being its clasp. But it's interesting that he's sat down and therefore the bear claws are here rather than out. They have been holstered, they've been sheathed, they've been drawn back. With the Knight of Swords, you have motivation to keep going and to try for another victory. This is what this one's saying. Even though you're in a point where you're secure in your power and you know that you've won this, it's almost, there's another bit of you going, come on then, come on, who's next? Who's next? And which would be great if that was appropriate to the circumstances. But Spirit here is trying to get you to look within. You know, it has delivered that Chinese curse for you of may all your wishes come true. You know, there's but I do think that there will be plenty of opportunity to listen to guidance for you coming up. Four of Cups. And this Knight of Swords is just a little bit more measured. You can see that this Knight of Swords, he's not... okay, so this is the Knight of Swords, how you're feeling, clarifying card. And this is the Knight of Swords time that you're passing into. You'll notice this one, he's a lot calmer. He's preparing. He's more measured. He's more, yeah, I just want to make sure that everything is right here, because there is news that is going to take you into some form of conflict with a burden that you will be tempted to pick up. But if you do that, it will be slow progress in what you are wanting to create. Now, what I do feel is that if you was to take in, because these two here, that's what's underlying the current situation. Here, it feels more like two options. We've got Queen of Wands, Queen of Pentacles, Knight of Wands. So you can manifest everything that you want. Do you really want to manifest such a burdensome conflict and set yourself above all of the other combatants? Because you certainly have the chutzpah, you know, to do that right now. Whereas underneath we have that Queen of Wands, the manifesting power, but she's very gentle here. She's almost like she's existing in a complete realm of light. She's leaning back against, I'm hoping it's some form of balcony, either that or she's just leaning back against a sunbeam. And clarifying her immediately is the Queen of Pentacles, who is nurturing. And look at the heart chakra-ness of the pentacle or the coin that she's looking after, the orb right in the center there. That's glowing in green light, and I'm immediately reminded as well, not just of the green heart chakra energy, but in Brightest Day day in blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight, which is the Green Lantern Oath, where that's all about will rather than heart. But there's been a lot of forceful will going on here already. And so I'm wondering, is now you've got, even in the form of receptivity and nurturing, there is something that you can forge ahead with. And I think it's that nurturing, that staying, okay, well, I'm getting closer to home, whatever that means. But I'm wonder if, do you really need this conflict that's coming on here? When it's so very slow to gain any ground with, because yet again there is this mountain which is the obstacle for you to go round, not go through. So let's have a look more at the past, although I seem to have done the recent past to a certain extent. So you've had a transformation. There was a point where there was a dream where you was wanting to surge forward ahead, and you was working with somebody else. Two of Cups. There's, I mean, that could have been a love thing, but that's not it. I feel like you were working reasonably in harmony with somebody who was quite different to you, or something that was different to your nature. Say, like you're a musician and all of a sudden you're working in a laboratory, or you know, you're a demolition expert and all of a sudden you're in a fine art class. You know, the whole extremes of from one end to the other, something that you was working with, and it went, the actual working relationship in and of itself was good, but it didn't gain the results that you was expecting at the time, and you ended up feeling like that had been a time, you know, maybe time wasted, or a time of lack, a time of poverty. However, I do feel that you were noticed during this time, and that you had sown the seeds then for later change, which you may only still be just feeling now. But that experience, you went through a transformation. You went through a transformation of surging ahead. You'd set your sight on something, and you were heading for this goal, come what may. And this is probably what's brought up this recent, just past conflict, where there was somebody reflecting at you, because you were heading for what it was that you wanted right away. And I feel that that doesn't contain that Two of Cups relationship there. That was almost like the demolition expert going about the fine art class, stuff this for a game of darts, I've enjoyed it, but it's not achieved anything for me, I'm going to go and do that. You know, and that's it, there's no stopping you. And things moved fast, but you did find resistance. You did find that you were clashing heads with people. You did find that you were increasingly left on your own. Four of Swords here, Four of Swords here. But this Four of Swords is very much of being left on your own. And this Four of Swords is saying, now that you're on your own, look within. Yeah, you've had a victory. But is this what you want? Because I have plenty of what you want. What is it that you actually want? And it's all, there seems to be that you are in a prime manifestation stage, you know, and you can manifest everything that you are sending out. Now, whether that means you are manifesting what you want, that's another question entirely. So let's have a look after this present period. So if you're taking the more nurturing role, you're still going to get to the end of... You can sidestep this conflict. 9 of Wands here rather than the 10 of Wands up at the top. In fact, you can put an end to this conflict, 10 of Swords, by taking that more nurturing role, by stepping back. There's an element of less is more. The Hermit here, I don't think I really need to explain that one. It's about that looking within for your own light. And you notice this one, it looks like she's looking in a mirror and the mirror is blank. And that doesn't mean she's a vampire. It means that she's calmed herself in a way that the universe isn't necessarily reflecting back to her. Now, considering that you are coming out of a period of prime manifestation and you've had some of your wishes granted, whatever they may be, a period of time where that's not happening right, let me try that again. Just as you were finding a point of balance, it might be a good idea for there not to be that form of reflection. Right, that other oh no, it's working. It's really hard to talk and do the technical bits all at the same time. So now we have, I'm going to go to the distant but relevant past. Now, when I say distant, this could be 2 weeks ago or 2 decades ago. But it's where you've learned a lesson in the past that you either are using at the moment and probably shouldn't be, or that you could use at the moment but you're not. So let's see. Right, so you've learnt in the past, we've got Strength, 7 of Pentacles, the Fool. You've learnt in the past that if you're really putting the work in and are strong-willed enough, that you will get the beginning that you are after. And I do think that it's something that, you know, it's something that you can do, but interestingly, that Fool does feel foolish. It's almost a, why take the path of most resistance? Which is fine if you weight training, but even then you only increase the resistance bit by bit. Because straight after we have 7 of Swords, 3 of Swords, Knight of Cups. So previously, you was like, there was something that you really worked hard to do and you brought it around, you brought it into being, and it wasn't quite what you was expecting, and it ended up being something that you wanted to put to one side, something that you wanted to put away and get rid of. But it left you with the pain of that experience left you enough with a dream to get you on this path that you're going now. But I fear that now you're in this wish fulfillment stage, you're more thinking that you're in that Strength, 7 of Pentacles stage of keep plugging at it, and I will get what I want. Whereas I'm reminded of like the more hippie channelings of the 80s and 90s, where people like the Palladians would talk about effortless manifestation. And if anything, that 10 of Wands indicates right now you can put in too much effort to what you are trying to achieve. Because I feel like you're worried that the wish fulfillment means you're constantly going to have to defend it, and it's going to leave you on unstable ground. And do you really want to manifest everything that's been going on recently? Do you need to manifest that new fight? Now the future here, or a future, if you don't avoid it, I think is more to the point, because these promise a lovely future. This is the final outcome, or sometimes I think it's the closer future, and these are a bit further. But we've got 4 of coins in a very barren wilderness, cold, being called to defend everything while feeling incredibly stressed and alone. Whereas if you take that more nurturing role right now, we have 10 of Cups, Justice, the World. So, better than wish fulfillment, that is being fair and the world turning to your, well, in your favour. Let's put it that way, in your favour. Because there is a firm, material, physical stability to where you're doing through the nurturing that you do now, rather than the pushing that you are tempted to do now. You can put an end to the previous torment that had been going on, and there is more ground for you to cover. High Priestess here, indicating someone being led along by the moon, by their intuition. And also, that really looks to me like it's a discarded pomegranate on the floor here. So it's that you are leaving the underworld if you take the nurturing role right now. Okay, so, finally, Umabel. She's about affinity and friendship. So that's where you're looking. Whoever this person you're clashing heads with is, then either go around them, find a way to give them something, and find a way to see what you have in common with them. Because it might be that you're clashing because you are very similar. And if you are so very similar, that also means you could be good friends. Okay, so if this means anything to you, Virgo, comment down below. Like I said, press the like and subscribe button while you're there. And bear in mind, Western Chinese combination readings, write one of them down there if you want one. I will be doing the Virgo with Cancer Moon or Rising coming up. There will be your full moons coming out, and hopefully your lunar galactic downloads the day after. All right? Cheers.